I want to talk about judgment um, in a bigger sense in terms of this is something that I learned when I was in India, which is, India is a place where they do so much ritual, so much ceremony. And, I am a yoga teacher. So I went through teacher training, but like I did this when I was like 2010. So this is a long time ago. And at the time, everything is, when I'm absorbing and taking all this information, I was also working a full-time job. So it wasn't like I had I don't know. Listen, I was where I was. The point being, I used to be like, okay, I'm going to take this and I'm not going to take this. Like I had a lot of judgment around certain kinds of rituals within yoga. For instance, kirtan. I was just not a huge fan. Um, not for any other reason than I just didn't understand why we would chant these call and response. I didn't really know what it meant. It was mostly in Sanskrit. I would look at people that were really into chanting and really into kirtan as kind of like weird. like, I just didn't understand it, right? So I just kind of wrote it off as like not for me, like many of us do, right? So I'm in India and kirtan is a very big part of their culture, their tradition. And I love to sing and I love to dance and I love music. So I'm starting to just get used to the fact, like, okay, it's not really my thing, but I can still enjoy it because I'm here and I like the people that are singing and I like the voices that I hear. So I'm just going to enjoy it, right? So there was one time where I decided to go to this Hare Krishna um, kirtan event, which I had no idea that the entire 2 hours is going to be just chanting a Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I can't even remember all of it. I think there's another part to it. Um, the whole time they're just chanting the same chant. And I'm looking around and people are like closing their eyes and they're like, yes. And you can feel them like, and I'm just like, what is going on? Are they not hearing what I'm hearing? Because this is kind of dull and boring. And why do they keep repeating the same thing over and over again? Now, I also want to put a little side note that when I was living in New York, because I lived in New York for like 13 years, every time I would exit this one subway station at Union Square, there would be all these Hare Krishna men, okay, in these robes, and they had these weird haircuts where they just had like shaved hair, but like one piece of hair sticking out right here, a little bit like alfalfa, but it wasn't sticking up; it was just like sticking out. And they would be Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I'm like, what in the f? Like these people are so weird. Like snap out of it, and I would just, I just label them as weird and why are you dressed that way? And no, just a big fat no, right? So here I am in India, and there's people dressed like this, and then they've got, they've got like a sword on their third eye, and and I'm just like, what is going on? And so I'm hearing the judgment, I'm looking at the people, but then there's other people that look like me that are really enjoying this, and I don't get it. So I leave. I didn't even make it the full 2 hours. I'm like, I'm out of here. And I was all proud of myself. I'm like, some things are just not for me, right? And that's totally fine. So I leave. So the next week, um, I was talking to someone and he's like, why did you leave? And I was like, told him, I'm not into this, la la la. So he's like, maybe he said it or maybe I said it. I can't remember. But there was this feeling of like, I was still curious. Like maybe I can get into it. Maybe it was the leader of the kirtan. I'm going to try this again because don't forget, like maybe I was in it for like 2 or 3 weeks at this point, and I have like a lot longer through India. So I'm like, I should try to get to know a little bit about this kirtan thing before I just completely write it off. So I decided to show up again. Same thing. I'm like, this is weird. Now I do like the leader this time around. I'm like, okay, he's kind of explaining why they keep repeating Hare Krishna, right? And he talks about how it's about, it's to get the mind occupied. And then you just close your eyes and you start to feel the sensation and the vibration, and you start to allow that to invoke the joy and invoke love and all of these things, right? So I was starting to be like, okay, I like his explanation. And I started to go, it's just basically a mantra to keep the mind busy. So I'm like, okay. So after maybe 45 minutes, I decide to close my eyes And all of a sudden, this well of emotion, of love, just kind of like enters me. Or maybe I just unlocked, like I dissolved the walls that were surrounding my heart and I just let it in. And I was like, oh my God, it's just love. It's just love. And I was pushing it away and I couldn't hear it. And because judgment was keeping me from experiencing what it actually is. And it just is love. It is just love. And so once I closed my eyes and I let it in, then I started to move with the music. And then when people are standing up, I'm standing up. And then I start dancing. And then I'm really feeling this immense joy and this communal sense of joy. The same kind of joy you feel probably when you go to a concert and you all love the same Coldplay song, and you're watching Coldplay together. It's like this beautiful moment of celebrating. Wow, like we really love this. And it's just people are happy and dancing and chanting. And anyways, I totally got the bug. And now I'm obsessed. I love it. So then there was the Kirtan festival happening in India when I was there. So one of part of my routine was at night I would go to the Kirtan festival, and for a good 2 hours I would be there, and then I would. My favorite part was dancing. I just love to dance, and there was something so beautiful. Like, so it starts slow, and then it kind of builds and crescendos, and then everybody gets up and dances, and it's this whole celebration, and then it kind of slows down again, and then new people come up, and they're playing different instruments, and there's different singers, and they have a different tone, and it just became this like beautiful gift that I'm so grateful for India for cracking my heart open and for allowing me to experience pure joy and love as just for being, like for no other reason than just being. It was 100% free. Afterwards, they gave us free dinners, which were amazing. And I just was like, I was obsessed. So, one of the things that I said to myself is when I go back to Paris, I'm looking up Kirtan and seeing where I can also experience that here because I know it's here. And I think one of the things I learned when I was in India was a lot of the people were actually French. There was a girl who I loved her voice, and I talked to her afterwards. She's like, she's French. And I'm like, well, then there's people here that are into this stuff. I just had no idea because I wasn't into it before, until now. So, nevertheless, I go to this kirtan event here and I love it. And it's reminding me of being in India, and I'm getting up and we're dancing. And of course, it's all in French, but I'm here. I really want to learn French this time around, like 100%. So, then I go to another event, and this one was interesting because we actually were oming for 45 minutes straight. And the idea is like you keep this continuous ohm going. And after 15 minutes, she claps her hands, and we're supposed to move chairs a little bit like what's that game? I can't remember, musical chairs, right? So that was kind of fun. And anyways, I met these wonderful people. They're all French, and I had the woman who was organizing the whole thing. I'm like, can you speak in French? And I really just want to be able to understand. And so she does. And then of course halfway through, I'm like, I don't understand. So she has to do the whole thing in English. Anyways, then I go to another kirtan on Sunday, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I saw some of the same people. So now I'm like on this list where I get notified of all the next ones. And I'm like, oh my God, like, look what this has done. It's like I now feel part of this community. And this is just the beginning. So it's just made me so happy and really fall in love with being here. And then I realized something so profound, which is like, we always think it's the city, right? I don't like the city. I'm over the city. Or I don't like, where I live. Or I don't like this apartment. And I do, okay, sometimes it is that. But usually, what you're actually looking for is something to change within you. And then you can see your surroundings differently. And for me, I was at a place before I went to India where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to stay in Paris. I don't know the language, and I don't know if my people are here and if I have community, la la la. Meanwhile, I spend 2 months in India. I come back and I'm like, oh my God. And these people are amazing. They're so happy. I walk in and everybody's like singing, smiling. And it's just like, this is amazing. These are my people. And yeah, I feel so grateful. So it's a very different thing when you recognize maybe it's not anything outside of me and it's actually something within me. And if I just pay attention, like, what am I actually looking for? And you just start to ask yourself questions like, what am I curious about? What brings me joy? All of these things. And I think for me, yeah, a large part of it was number one, like really answering this call. Like, I wanted to go to India, staying for as long as I did, which was, I did not plan to do, but knowing I needed to because I felt like I want to explore what it's like to just do nothing but enjoy myself. Like, that was it. That was the only assignment I had about going to India. And look what it gave me, like so many gifts. I'm also looking into doing ecstatic dance, which is because I realized I just love to boogie. I love to dance. It's my joy. So I wanted to share that, and how oftentimes the things that we judge actually are keeping us from something deep within that could unlock this beautiful joy. And so just to start to be curious around that. Okay, so I wrote this down and I want to just share it, and my nose is about to run. I still have like a little bit of cold. Um, Here we go. So, what came through? Simply enjoying myself. Create when and how I want to, express when and how I want, love and to be loved how I want to, freedom, liberation, empowerment, to just be, exist without the pressure of doing or accomplishing anything. This is radical, and this is why I feel so passionate that this is all I'm meant to do. you know? Um, this could be what I'm being initiated into. It's taken me, what, 4 years to understand, or rather embody, that play and enjoyment are high desires. Because one of the things about India is like who they actually, one of their gods, Krishna, Hare Krishna, he's all in blue. He's playing a flute. He's got animals beside him. He's got all these jewels. Like, he is all about play. And that's their highest, like what they feel is your highest of service, is to be in a state of play, in a state of joy. And I think we, in the Western world, put so much emphasis on working really hard, and we've got to work, and then we got to tell everybody how hard we work, we've got to put in all these hours, and et cetera, that we don't actually value play. And so that's why I'm saying the way that I'm living is so radical, but I love it. It's like so exciting. It's so fun. Okay, so maybe going to India and seeing Krishna with his jewels and flute and colorful friends, maybe chanting the kirtan and dancing for no other reason than to have fun. All of this is teaching me this is what life is really about. I love it. 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 So, voila. That's my, that's it. That's all, folks. So I'm going to share my final parting words that I share, I think, every single video, which is experience is our greatest teacher. So go out and experiment with your life and be fearless and go to Kirtan.